Welcome to June. Well, it's mid-year, so I want us to come in and do a mid-year check-in, a mid-year evaluation. I'm Lady T. If you're new over here to the channel, at the beginning of the year, we did a vision board. We actually did an electronic vision board on our telephones. And I asked you to do at the beginning of the year, I told you to go ahead and save that at either your lock screen or your wallpaper where you're seeing it throughout the day as a reminder of the goals that you're supposed to be working toward. Now, if you're like me, I've messed with my phone throughout the 6 months and that's no longer my lock screen. I had it as my lock screen. It's no longer my lock screen. So one of the things I want you to go back, if you've also taken it outside of your lock screen, I want you to put it back on your lock screen. Another thing you can do, the iPhones now allow you to do a shuffle where you can either shuffle the wallpaper, was just your background of your phone, or your lock screen where you can shuffle it throughout the day where it has different pictures appearing. So one of the things you can do is you can take those pictures that you have from your vision board where you're having the individuals pictures that's showing up every hour throughout the day, or just your whole little vision board that's showing up. But I want it back in the forefront. I want it back in our faces. Now, one of the things I want you to do this week is I want you to reevaluate your goals. Are you on target? Are there some things you can check off? I know like going to Jamaica was one of mine. So that's one of the things I can check off. I need to reevaluate my savings goals. Where am I with that? Am I reaching that mark that I put down for my savings goal? If you notice that you're off target for that, maybe, we have 6 months left. If you feel like your savings goals is not realistic right now for you to put the amount and reach that goal, but maybe you need to reevaluate and pivot and change it, what you're going to change it to. If you want to decrease it, maybe you already surpassed that goal and you want to increase it. Whatever it is, when you're reevaluating it, one of the things you might also want to do is look at the plan. What is it that's keeping you from reaching that target goal that you have over the next 6 months? If it's a savings goal, do you need to go ahead and set up where your direct deposit, where you have so much money that's just automatically going into an extra savings account, and that savings account is strictly toward that goal? Maybe you need to separate that from your primary savings. Go to the bank. You probably can set that up though without even going into the bank, and set it up electronically online where you have this money that's going directly into this account toward that goal. One of the other things, when you're looking at the different things that you have put down, one of the things I had us do is we had a scripture. You should have had a scripture for the year that's like encompassing your goals. Have that scripture again where you're actually saying it throughout the day, having it as one of your screensavers where it's coming up in your face. Maybe you need to write it down, and maybe you need to print out your vision board, having it somewhere, maybe adding it also to the refrigerator, adding it to the mirror in the bathroom, somewhere where you're seeing this as a reminder. Maybe it's also time to reevaluate the goals because life has started happening, and this particular goal is not going to happen this year. Maybe it's something that's going to have to go off to next year. And maybe it's something else that you want to actually add to this goal. But I want us to get that same excitement. You know how when the first of the year comes, January, we like, oh yes, I can do this, and I'm all gung-ho, and we're going to do all these things. I want us to have that same excitement for June, for the remaining 6 months of getting excited of what we're gonna accomplish, what God is going to continue to do, and how He's going to continue to bless us, and getting the plan together. And maybe it's besides having that scripture that we have, that's the overarching scripture, maybe it's time to get some individual scriptures that's lining up with those individual goals. So maybe you need more than one scripture that's lining up, like, Lord, you said you would be my provider, or eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, neither have entered into my heart. So it's like the things that to accomplish this, Lord, I'm going to need you to help me with that. Getting education on some of the things. Maybe it's some things that you need to be educated more on. Maybe you need to start writing out a time time in that plan to educate yourself. But if you're already there, you've already done the research, you've already been educated in this particular thing, and you know what it takes to meet this particular goal. Well, now how are you going to execute it over the next 6 months? How can you break that down and get this accomplished in the next 6 months? Going to God for a plan, praying to Him and believing for Him to give you the wisdom and insight that you need, the favor that you need, or the resources or the people to come alongside you. Going to God specifically in prayer about those things, getting that scripture to match up and line up with what your goal is. I'm excited. I'm still looking ahead. I know there are things there's one thing on my goal. I know I'm going to have to push to 2024, but there are other things that I know it's time to get that momentum going again. I need to put it back in the forefront, and so I can see it. I need to add it back to my screensaver, my lock screen, so it's in my face as a reminder. I'm holding you accountable, and part of me holding you accountable is holding myself accountable as well. Weight loss is one of the things. Get that momentum again to get back in the gym. Get that momentum again to go back to that healthy eating. Partner up with someone to do the walking, do the running, whatever we need to do. Get it back in your face again. Get it back and get the plan and the execution going. I know some of you have shared some things that you've been able to do this year. I know particularly one of the ladies who have been wanting to write a book and get it published, and she was able to do that this year. And so to God be the glory, like that she's actually going forth with those things that was on her vision board, those things that she had from many years ago that God is bringing to pass. And one of the things, when we see God do it for one person, we know it's not just for them. He will do it for us as well. I'm excited about the mid-year evaluation and review. Have you ever done a mid-year evaluation before? This is my first time doing it with my actual goals and the vision board. And so I'm so glad you guys are coming along with me, that we're holding one another accountable. I can't wait to hear from you. How's your mid eval? What letter grade would you give yourself if you had to evaluate yourself at this point with your goals? What letter grade would you give yourself? And it's okay if you give yourself an F, but know what? We have time. We have time on our side to get it up to maybe a C, to get it, like the same way you would motivate your kids. We need to motivate ourselves, knowing that God is our biggest cheerleader. He's right there, and I'm cheering you on as well. Right now, I would probably give myself a C. I have some things, but I have some other things that I need to get more momentum behind it. And C is not good enough. I need to get it to a B or A. So until next time, keep pushing and have a blessed day.